Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do 8 tips for the Hero 8, although a lot of these will probably work for the Hero 7 or many of the other action cameras that you might find on the market. Hey, welcome to the channel. My name's Sloan and I make content here on YouTube all about helping solo creators like myself create better content by doing reviews of equipment that's out there and doing tips and tutorials on how to use that equipment. And one of the things that I love to do is team up with other solo creators who are here in Alaska, like this guy here, who's Josiah Martin. He's the Alaskan Outsider. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description. And we've teamed up today to talk about 8 different ways that you can improve your GoPro footage, whether or not you have the Hero 8, which is what this is, or the Hero 7, although he has an 8 too.
So today we're going to be bringing you 8 tips for your GoPro or action camera, and we're going to be giving you 4 tips in this video, and then jump on over to my channel where we'll be giving you the next 4.
One of the best things about the GoPro Hero 8 and any action camera really is that it's small, convenient, and most of them are waterproof and weatherproof, so you can use these things anywhere without worrying about putting some of your more expensive or nicer camera gear at risk of getting damaged. So use this to your advantage by always keeping one of these in your pocket with a couple of extra batteries, because you never know when you're going to come across something that you want to capture on film.
That really is true. You never know when you want to film something, and also because of how small it is, you can put it in some of the craziest places, whether putting it on a selfie stick and putting it 10 feet above and getting a nice overhead shot of your subject walking under the camera. Or you can do, because of the stabilization on this, a low tracking shot. You can put this right off the ground as someone's walking towards the camera, and you can just get all sorts of crazy angles just because the camera is really small. The benefit is not the quality of the camera, so you really got to use its small compactness to your advantage. Put it in between some rocks as someone is walking by. Put it in tight places. Make your audience question, now how did he get that camera angle? All right, on to tip number 2. We're going to be talking to you about low light tips with the GoPro Hero 8. Now, GoPros and action cameras, they're just not meant for low light, and they have really poor capabilities. But if you find yourself in a dark situation and only with a GoPro Hero 8, here are a few tips that'll help you out.
First thing you want to do is make sure all of your stabilization is turned off, because the stabilization will make your low light footage look much worse than it actually is. So one of the ways you can still keep your footage smooth while you're in low light but you're not able to use the stabilization built into these cameras is hold the camera with 2 hands close to your body and keep your movements slow and purposeful. That'll still give you pretty good footage even though you're in low light.
Now, I like keeping my GoPro with an ISO max of 400, but if it's really dark, you can boost it up to 800 and then worry about noise reduction later in post.
Another big tip with low light, if you have your sharpness set on high, it's going to make any noise in your footage really stand out. So turn your sharpness down to low.
The other thing is, if you're filming in low light, you're just going to have to give up on slow motion. You're not going to be filming at 120 frames per second because the shutter speed on this camera will have to be super high. So to keep your shutter speed low, you're going to just film at 4K, 24 frames per second, and that'll really give you the best option in a low light scenario.
And now for tip number 3. One of the things that will ruin your footage faster than anything else is if you have water spots on the lens. And so there are a couple of simple ways and simple things you can do to help keep that to a minimum. One is just keep a little lens cloth with you that you can wipe the lens off anytime you're walking through rain or near water, and it'll deal with it really fast.
The other thing you can do if you find yourself at the beach or in a lot of wet situations with your GoPro is to take a basic white candle wax, rub it on the lens of the camera, rub it in, and then wipe it clean. And that'll give a very thin protective coating of wax that'll just shed the beads of water right off. And so then if there is water on your lens, you can lick the lens or just wipe it with your palm or your thumb and the beads will just come right off.
And if you don't happen to have a white candle with you, if you lick your lens just before you go into the water, it will actually help the water bead off your lens better than if you didn't. But there are also products out there like Rain-X and different things that you can put on the lens. Just make sure you use the ones that GoPro or your action camera manufacturer recommends.
Link is in the description. And so for tip number 4 is utilize this small portable camera to help build your story. So today, for example, we're out here at Byron Glacier. Now, if we wanted to film this story from start to finish, we'd be getting out of the car, we'd be hiking in here a couple miles, we'd be flying the drone overhead, but that's just a big pain to unpack the Mavic, get in the air, get your drone shots. And so we like to get out to location with the gear and then set it up. But meanwhile, to help tell the story, we can just take this small portable camera out of our pocket, film some hiking shots, some walking shots as we're coming out here without having to get the gimbal all set up and stuff like that.
And storytelling doesn't have to be complicated. It's just really telling the story of whatever you're doing at the time. One of the great things you can use these for in storytelling is using these to film time lapses, which is a great way to show the passing of time. It's also a great way just to show some of the location that you're in and how incredible and amazing it looks.
So although this isn't the highest quality of footage, it can really be great to add to your story. GoPro's MO from the very beginning was to push boundaries and to do the unexpected. And so with these GoPros and with these tips, push the boundaries of your storytelling, of your video creating career, and enjoy the process along the way.
I think one of the best things that action cameras like this have done for us is give us the ability to put a camera in a place that you really couldn't do before, and you're really not risking that much of an investment as you would be if you were putting your DSLR or a larger camera in a place like that. So go out, create, have fun with this, and don't sweat the small stuff. If you get something good that's part of a story, it's good and it's going to be telling a great story. Now we've put together 4 more tips to help you get the best footage out of your GoPro Hero 8 or any GoPro you have, but to see them, you're going to want to watch the video right here. Or here. Or here. Or there.